Nice muffins.
Zucchini muffins. My wife made them an hour ago.
Nice.
They're still warm.
Yeah, we're all set.
Thank you for bringing them over. Appreciate it.
Oh, sure, you bet. Oh, wait a while.
Now we're all set.
All right, hi everyone. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful summer. But welcome to the meeting. I'm calling the meeting to order at 5:37 p.m. Today we don't have much on the agenda. There's 3 items, of course, to review the strategy, and then chair update, and then we're going to have Marcus present his proposal, which we've heard about the past few meetings here. So before we begin, I'm going to take roll call.
Oh, somebody's on there.
I'm not sure.
So just before we begin, can I ask who is on the Zoom call? It says there's 2 participants.
I just said I can't talk. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. This is Alder Melinda X.
Hi, Alder.
Hi, Alder.
Hi, welcome.
Hello. I'll mute myself now. I'm sorry. I thought it was muted.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I'm going to take a roll call real quick. Commissioner Guzman,
Here.
Alderman Hutchison.
Here.
Commissioner Shelton.
Here.
Commissioner Greeno.
Here.
All right. And we're missing 3 representatives today. They notified us, so Ortiz, Vincent, and Hassan. Okay. And then, can I get the approval, or can I get a motion to approve is it the minute section first?
Agenda.
Agenda?
Okay, the agenda for,
So moved. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the agenda stands approved, and then can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting from last month?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you for approving that. So moving forward, we're just gonna jump right into things, which is the strategy.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at this. I think the agenda was first. Because I think, did we do the minutes first or did we do agenda?
No, we did it.
Oh, we did?
Yep, we did that.
Oh, he knows. Okay, thank you all.
All right, so this strategy, as you'll see, it's a little bit more lengthy since the last time you guys have seen it. I added components into it. So section 3, of course, last time we were talking about the messaging and guidelines, and that kind of goes through some of the ways that would be respectful of us to present ourselves when we engage with the community. And sorry for the bad formatting, I will fix that. But section 4, you'll see for the infrastructure part, I thought that it'd be helpful if whatever we attend or whoever we engage with, if we follow these 4 Ps, which is planning, promotion, presence, and participation. But let me know what your thoughts are. We can always X that if that doesn't make sense for us. But I'll go into detail about that. I'm going to just run over what I changed real quick right now. And then section 5, outreach, phase plan, and timeline. That I combined that section with from the previous document. I combined the sections together, so it looks a little different. It shows you the stages, or shows you the phase and then the stages. And then it talks about the objective, method, task, support, and timeline for that. And of course, there's going to be, so there's 4 phases, sorry. And then after that goes to section 6, which is the evaluation method. So some of these sections were shifted a little bit. Does anyone have any questions right away? Otherwise, I'm going to go through in depth what I changed in here.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yep.
Really good.
Thank you. All right, so page 5, section 3. So the engagement guidelines and messaging, I thought this was kind of important so that we can be aligned when we go and present, or when we go and speak to different audiences, because we're not all going to be there, or we're all going to be, all the audiences are going to be different. But this kind of keeps us in a cohesive alignment. So go ahead and read through that. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if something needs to be taken out or changed, or if it's too long, I can also shorten things up too. And you'll notice at the end of page 6 too that I add that all the messaging and the verbiage that we're going to use will come from the civil rights ordinance.
I feel like some of this stuff doesn't really have to be said, but
Just in case.
maybe let's say.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think it's redundant? I mean, we
Oh,
can take
no,
things
I
out.
absolutely don't
If
think
this
so.
is too lengthy.
No. I think even this helps to explain the real vision, and there's no room for assumption of what we're trying to do here. So I think you did it great. And you even put some evidence here. Love it.
Any other comments? All right, so going into section 4 on page 7, infrastructure, target audience, outreach methods, and strategies. So I'm going to start off with the 4 Ps that I talked about. Again, I created those 4 Ps, but I want to make sure that we're all aligned on that. If that doesn't make sense to put in here, then I can take that out. I just thought it would be like a nice template for us to go off of, especially since there's so many different events and engagements that are going to be happening, that if you don't have, if you don't have time to run it by us before you go and present to someone, this is what you would follow, right? So planning, create a detailed list of information that includes the event name, the contact information, location, time, purpose of the event, and other important information. Promote, if this is going to be a community event, talk to the city staff, how you can promote it on the website, on the social media, things like that. Or if it's more of a private invitation, then I guess, disregard that one. But presence, so determine who is going to be at the event. If we have a quorum, we do have to announce that. But if we all accidentally show up, then we don't have to. But yeah, just so we're all aware of that. Participation, so we said that we wanted to get evaluations from people that we meet or engage with, whether that's the event coordinators or that's the audience that we're speaking with or to. So those are the 4 Ps, but do I need to take anything else out, or does it make sense? Does it make sense to be in here?
I think it makes sense.
The 4 Ps. My only is that learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Is there gonna be a standard, like, questionnaire we give out to get response back? Like something simple, like how did our message come across to you? Can we do better? So, I mean, it falls right into the evaluation method, but it might be good to have that
Ready?
little cut, not the big thing, just a little card that we can hand and get it right back.
Yep, nope, I love that. I added that actually to page 10, section phase 2. You'll see, let me see. So there's a few different things that I added in here. So one, we talked about having some type of feedback section on the webpage, which right now we have like a comment box that people can click the link to. But we can probably develop something a little bit more, I guess, detailed. And then B, if you go to letter B, create evaluations for community speaking engagements. So maybe that's what that falls under.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, I don't know what that looks like right now, but I wrote that the commissioners would come up with something. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Very good.
All right. But, I mean, that's a good leeway anyways, because we're going to go right to section 5 here. So section 5, page 9. The outreach phase plan and timeline. It looks a little different from the last time that you guys saw it. I shifted some phases and then added some detail into the matrix here. So you'll see in the column stage, objective, method, task, support, timeline. Stage, that obviously is self-explanatory. Objective, update years. So the objective is what the goal is, right? The method, so that's like the medium of communication or how we're going to reach that objective. The task, which entails what we need to do to reach the objective, and then support means who is going to be responsible for completing these tasks. And then the timeline, I didn't fill in the timeline here just yet, but I will. But I added the timeline because if we don't have deadline for things, things just don't really get done. So I'm gonna let you guys look through that. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
This is awesome.
I've got a question on the BIOS, because I'm so delinquent on updating that. Who do we hand those to? Is there someone at the city?
I think Shelby is.
Yeah. Shelby?
Yeah, Shelby said
Okay.
that to send it to her, so.
Or, and if you send it to me, I'll send it to Shelby, so either one.
Okay. Thank you.
A nice pick, it brings out your eyes.
Is there, Joe, I should ask, is there a guideline to what pictures we send? Does it have to be like a professional headshot, or can it be like a fun community kind of looking one, or like what?
I don't think there's guidelines to that. I thought you were gonna ask about like the type of photo, like the JPEG and all that stuff.
That
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say, that was more Shelby's department than mine, but no, I don't think there's really, I mean, as long as it's an appropriate photo.
Okay.
that's- yeah.
I'm gonna ask real quick, do we want professional headshots, or what kind of photos do we want, so that we're all in line, or does it matter? Does it not matter? I don't know. Am I overthinking?
No, it kind of doesn't matter, except if there is a consistency through the photographs, it kind of gives one the feel that they're put together. But at the same token, if they're all different, that's kind of displays the same thing. But if you have two the same and two, you know what I mean? I don't think it means a big deal, other than it should be a picture that represents the person, so.
I've only taken professional pictures once. I was much thinner, so then I'd have to like look into getting something else going, because they're gonna say that's not me, so you'll have to.
Okay, so a photo that represents
Yeah.
your true identity and
Yeah.
self,
Yeah.
then.
And if you'd like to retake a photo or have one, you could always set an appointment with Shelby, and she has the camera and the picture.
That's good to know.
That's a
I
good
think we
idea,
come in
actually.
and we make sure we take some pictures.
I don't like putting
I'm
more
kidding,
on
I'm
Shelby's
kidding, I'm
plate, but
kidding.
I know we have the ability
Yeah.
to, so.
At one point, I do want to take a group picture so we can post it on social media.
That would be nice.
Introduce
That would be
ourselves.
nice. Yep. That would be nice.
100%.
And it
Goofy
goes
one, right?
goes hand in hand
We're
with
gonna do a
this.
goofy one.
We
right?
can do whatever the
Serious
want.
I wanna see Marcus jumping up in the air like this. I just wanna pick John up. and I pick him up.
Okay.
You can't pick me up.
Okay, so any questions? Any feedback? Anything I need to change or take out?
This is so good.
It looks good. Really good.
And then I'm gonna ask you guys real quick, so, I'm gonna ask you guys to look at the support column and go through that real quick and see if that makes sense. If it doesn't, or see if it makes sense to have the city staff or the commissioners to complete those tasks.
How do you update your email signature?
We can have Shelby create one for you. if you want.
Let's
Or
put
we can-
Shelby, commissioners and Shelby. then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do that, like, so I have a university email, like, can I, that might be, I don't know if that's a problem to like put city.
No, I think you can interchange it though. Well, for Gmail at least, I can say, hey, I want to sign off as Tara from the city commission. And then if you don't want that, then you could just change it. And yeah.
Okay.
So there's like set, what is that?
Signatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
need to, I need
Shelby-
a workop.
Okay, we can have Shelby.
Brushing
walk
up
you
on
through.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, yeah.
Help us use computers. But no, I think you did a really nice job in terms of, because it's easy to say like have the, sorry Joe, have the city staff do it, right? Because we're all busy, but there's a lot of things in here that need to be done by commissioners, right? Because they're discretionary, and I thought you did a really nice job of like differentiating those, yeah.
So there's no further comments for that. I'm gonna go to page 13, phase 4, external engagement. So I only have 2 events listed on here, but that doesn't mean that that's all that we're going to do and engage with the community. I did write in the top, you'll see the following are major events that have been pre-planned. The list is not indicative of the total number of events and engagements that the ARC will participate in for the feasibility initiative. Events will be scheduled on a rolling basis. I talked to Joe about that, and I think what we said was that, Joe, can you summarize what we?
So are you talking about attending meetings? Or-
Yeah, because we talked about attending meetings, and if we have a quorum there, then we need to announce
Yeah.
beforehand. But if it's an event that if it's a last minute event that we all happen to just show up at, then we don't need to announce that publicly. But I wanted to make sure that if we're going to present this to city council, we have
Yeah.
some good, solid events in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I am going to ask from the commissioners is to think about some events and send it to me in the next few days here.
Perfect.
So that we can update this, because we want the council to approve this in September.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, they're going to be meeting before our meeting
Yeah.
in September. So that means we don't have another chance to discuss, sit down and discuss. So,
There'll be, we might be able to in September, because we're meeting on the 14th, right?
yeah.
And then council's meeting on the 19th.
Oh, they're
So-
meeting on the 19th.
Yeah, so I do
Oh,
believe
okay.
we can make it work to have this updated for the agenda for the 19th. Typically, in the summer, we've been, had finalizing the agenda like Thursday evening, so we can't get on the agenda for next week, all this. But I think if I give the clerk a heads up, we can get this on the September common council meeting.
Okay, that sounds great. Does anyone have any questions about that? Comments?
Oh, what's the time frame for these? September, October, November, rest of the
so-
year?
So you mean for?
For the list of
Events?
events?
For the list of events, I would say probably for a year. So I would say since we're not starting to September to September 2024.
Makes sense.
Okay, so a whole year, like.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to start other initiatives that
Right,
along the
right.
way. So, but
Yeah,
I would say a
know
year.
there's some New Year's events and powwows.
Martin
and
Luther
all that good
King.
stuff.
Yeah.
I know NWTC has some things sometimes.
Cool, okay.
So just a quick question, so we don't need the support of the city council to do these things, right? This is like an informational thing?
I think I need more clarification.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think at the end of the day, if you have an initiative on behalf of the Equal Rights Initiative like this, I think the Common Council is going to have to sign off on it and
Okay.
approve it. But,
But like if I wanted to go speak at something,
yep,
Right.
you don't, you don't need an approval for that. So hypothetically, Common Council denies all this, but then you guys attended informally to go to these events.
Sure.
You can do that.
okay.
So I guess the difference is like,
Together or apart.
yeah.
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 Like either we go together and speak at, for example, Estamos Aquí, or maybe just one of us would go.
And that's what we'll need to get clarification on.
As long as we don't-
True.
As long as it's not a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as we're going by the guidelines that are on the law, I don't know what the hangup would be. Yeah, because I see nothing that would violate why this commission exists. We're doing what the commission's supposed to do, so.
And then I did have one question, Joe. So are we able to, so once we present to the city, to the Common Council and they approve it, are we able to, okay, actually, no, disregard what I just answered my own question in my head. Never mind.
Oh, that's fine, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so any other questions or comments for phase 4 on page 13, the external engagement?
Makes sense.
Okay, but
And just email you.
yes,
Yep.
please, any large events, please email me so I can add that to this document
Okay.
when I present, so that we can present it to Common Council. Again, that doesn't mean that that's the only events that we're gonna be attending or participating within. And then section 6, page 13, evaluation method. So we talked about a few different ideas last time we met, and so I just kind of made 3 categories out of it. The first one is surveys and questionnaires, second, focus groups and interviews, and then the third is on the back page, page 14, participatory evaluation feedback loops. So that would be adding that link online, that survey link online, so that people can, on their own time, they can give us their feedback. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Fantastic job.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. I have one quirk,
Yes, yep.
the word ensure.
Oh, weird.
These are just, you can take these or leave these, but I used to use the word ensure in engineering documents until someone said, we don't do assure. You know what I mean? You can't really assure something 100%. So it's just a text thing. So like, there's only 4 that I found up front on page 3 and 5, and I can throw these out and you can just take them or just whatever. The very first line, the visibility initiative strategy was developed to ensure an equitable and, okay, I would say enable there.
Enable, okay.
And
Okay.
and then under mission statement at the bottom, near the bottom of the page, to ensure public awareness, I would say to grow public awareness. So, I mean, grow it.
Yep.
It's constantly, okay, and then goal 2 on the next page, ensure that we advance diversity, equity. I would just delete the first 3 words and just say advance diversity and equity. And then goal 5 on the next page, build trust, encourage participation. And I didn't know what to put on this one because and ensure that all individuals are aware. I would say and allow that all individuals are aware, so you let the tree fall so that they're aware. But that one, that one's a hard one because I know exactly what was trying to be said there and I like it. If I were to use ensure, I would use it here.
And I think I would just cross it out and say build awareness of individual rights.
Okay, cool. That's, I mean, having gone through, I went through the other one, which was similar. That was it. That's, I wouldn't change the text in anywhere else, so.
Thank you, yes. If you guys see any other grammatical things or anything that needs to be changed, or added or taken out, let me know.
That's a good point, though, I never thought about that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I
thank you
actually
for-
never thought
thanks
about
for bringing
that.
that
Well,
up.
they kind of said we don't have an insurance company here. Oh, that's funny, but that's what
Yeah.
keeps running in my head. Oh, okay.
That's funny because all my college papers, I wrote that
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, people understand what it means, so.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Again, if anyone sees any other changes that needs to be made, please feel free to let me know. All right. So,
Do you need like a motion to approve this from the ERC?
Or did you want one more review of it?
one more review.
Oh, one
So
more.
when I ask.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
because you want to put in the stuff about advancing. okay.
Yeah, yep. So before we move on though, I wrote down, so just, to give people ideas of like who to contact or where to look or, just to jog your, I guess just to give you some ideas of events, type of events that we're looking for, right? Remember, our goal is to really prioritize the vulnerable communities who are often who often have barriers and don't have access to a lot of information on their rights. And we're trying to get past just the leadership level of things. So this past 2020, I met with 25 different organizations, 30 organizations I think total, but I only met with executive directors, the program managers. What we're trying to do is get in front of the audiences or the members that they serve, right? So really keep that in mind. And then some of the vulnerable groups that we do want to be in front of are people with disabilities, refugees, monolingual groups of people who, that English is not their first language, immigrant and refugee families, people experiencing homelessness, workers who are in labor-intensive industries who often don't have like 9 to 5 regular hour jobs, women and different marginalized communities of color. And then another note that I want to put out there, also start to think about different media outlets, news outlets, podcasts, different places that we can really, I guess not advertise, but really promote ourselves,
Sure.
the Equal Rights Commission, right? So I actually went and I found different organizations within the city of Green Bay, or the organizations who serve people who live in Green Bay. There's over 50 different organizations. So I split it up for all of us, but I think what I'll do is I'll just have everyone look up events.
Okay.
Or do you guys want me to delegate these organizations?
Oh, and we each follow up with our little group?
Yeah. Would you guys rather have me delegate these organizations so you have a good starting point, or do you guys feel that you have a strong enough knowledge of where to start
I
looking for
don't
events?
mind because I feel like that way we don't miss anything, right? Because I feel like maybe I'll go to some that I know and then I won't try to tap into places I might have not before. So by you giving me, maybe I feel like it's a challenge for me to go out there and maybe meet new people. But then at the same time, I respect if you already have places. But I feel like I would be okay with you delegating.
Yeah, again, these are just organizations that
Sure.
I Googled.
Okay.
And maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe they don't even have events. Maybe they're,
Yeah.
their focus is shifted. So, so the list that I have here for each individual commissioner to look
Research.
at, it's just, it's up to your discretion to let us know
Can
whether
we,
or not it
yeah,
makes sense.
if you show us the whole list, so then we know,
So.
and then break it up, that'd be great.
So I'm gonna ask Joe real quick. Would it be okay for me to email individual commissioners a list of these organizations?
I'll have to double check on that. It might be best to email it to me and then maybe I can send it to everyone.
Okay.
That might be best, otherwise just go ahead and email it. So I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds
I'll let you know
good.
right away.
Yeah. and I try to group these where you guys are already in contact with some of the organizations, so it makes sense for you guys. There may be one or two that are outside of your network, but again, I think it might be fun to
Yeah.
do some research and outreach. And then last time John brought up, oh, actually this, I'm gonna save it for my commissioner or my chair update. Okay, so that's all I had for this strategy document. Does anyone else have comments? Sorry, I feel like I left you out.
No, I'm fine.
You're-
If I wanted to say something, I'd say it.
Okay. All right, okay, so, Joe, can you share what the correct motion would be for this?
Yeah, just be to hold until the next Equal Rights Commission meeting.
Okay, can I get a motion to hold this strategy document until the next ERC?
I'll make a motion to hold this document to the next ERC meeting so that we have time to research and bring back our information that we need.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
See, if he wants to hear himself talk, we'll let him talk.
That was a very thorough.
You did a good job.
That was good, good job.
Okay, so next would be the chair update. And I don't have much right now. One would be, I want Stephanie
Is
to.
it, sorry, is that the next one, or is it your?
Oh.
It does not matter.
Well, I think we have to follow.
Yeah, we need.
Are we really gonna follow? Do not put that in the minutes, please.
I don't know. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, it's the install signage is the second one.
I guess
I printed this off.
we're going by the book today.
We're going
Sorry,
by the
Commissioner
book.
Green.
All right, everybody. So mainly kind of basing off of our last discussion we had, I believe in June, just kind of fleshed out this idea of creating more inclusiveness in the city. So I thought having name plaques of everybody who considers Green Bay and what they call it. So I really didn't want to be exclusive only to like native languages. I also wanted to think about the other languages too, and also just lingo. If people don't have something in another language, like maybe, some people are like, we call it Jeeves, or we call it the Bay, Bay, or whatever it is. Like, I think it really comes down to the fact of, I don't want anybody to feel left out because they don't have a native language or language in general for what they call Green Bay. So I wanted to make sure it's inclusive. So I think that's one piece. The second piece would be, if this is something that we would do, then we would have it at significant times as we go back to, these community events or these events that are going on. Maybe we take an idea of we get an idea of what these events are going on. What do they signify? Is it like the first immigrants that came in here, maybe they had a significant day. Maybe they had a holiday. Maybe we talk about how these folks had a very important time during the history of the city of Green Bay, and then we want to recognize it. And by doing that, we would have a plaque or whatever it is. But basically what it is just to build awareness around the fact that Green Bay is a diverse city and that we have a lot of cultures, we have a lot of nationalities, we have a lot of just backgrounds that we want to show the rest of the world. Because, like I was saying at the June meeting, there is the draft coming up in 2025. We have everybody always coming in for the Packer games, and then if the Packers do well, there's the playoffs. There's just always a lot of people coming in here, and I feel like it'd be really cool to have something where people are driving in and they see all these words and all these phrases for what Green Bay is, and they kind of be like, oh, well, that's really cool. I wish our city did that too, and just kind of promote that more. And then this is obviously still a lot of work to be done in the sense of trying to get the Packers to consider making jerseys like this, but I'm willing to at least put out the idea of everybody having their own jersey on their own language or their own phrase of how they call Green Bay. And maybe some people just be like, I just like the Packers. It's that's fine. But that is basically what I'm thinking about. And I think at the end when I'm talking about recognizing the territorial ethnicity of Menominee. I think that a lot of people get really mixed up in the historical record of who was really here first, or at least who had a significance. And so when we talk about the Menominee, you know, the Menominee can date their time here back to glacial periods. So not many people know that. Not many people know that when they were doing the highway up towards Door County, they hit a site. They went through it and they dug a little deeper and deeper. And that's where that two glacial period concept comes from. Is the archaeologist, Dr. David Overstreet, dug deeper and deeper and deeper and found that we were here at two glacial periods. So when we look at this history of Green Bay, it is so rich, and it doesn't always have to be significant just for Menominee, but I think that it would be really great that we get a little more pride in the city of Green Bay. And I think this would be a great initiative for us, because I think when people think of the equal rights, they only think of the select groups of people who are getting their equal rights amplified. And this could be something that we could be like, well, no, actually, we're inclusive of everybody. If you have an idea, come see us. If you like what we're talking about and like what we're trying to push, then come help us. But I think it really comes down to ensuring that everybody doesn't feel left out.
Not ensuring.
Ensuring. I made sure to say that just for the heck of it. I'll put that in minutes.
You can't make people not feel it.
People do.
It's a great idea.
So are you envisioning, this is awesome. Are you envisioning like, you know, now entering Green Bay with like 10 signs all at once? Or are you picturing this being like a rotating thing?
No, I want it 10 signs. Because I want people to know everybody that's represented in the city. And not just revolving around all the time. Because I think people are gonna, I think revolving around it would be a disservice to everybody else, because I think people want to have a stake in everything. They don't want to be like moved around.
Right. Just as a practical thing though, if somebody's driving and there's like 20 signs, it does make it a little difficult for, you know what I mean? Like, you're only gonna see like the one or two.
But that's why I said have a sign when you're coming in, and then have a sign here at City Hall, when we promote the City Hall signs, and have that as a space where people can come.
Yeah, I feel here would be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
every time we develop a plaque to put on the wall for the city of Green Bay, we ensure that we have just a nice little like, what do you call it? Like a information about where that name came from, what the background is of it. So when we talk about rotating, it'd be a rotation of an exhibit for those names in particular, for those cultures that are represented. And it'd be here in the city, and we'd promote that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think, for example, if we had a tall, and then you start out with the names, and then Green Bay is somewhere, maybe it's in the middle, or near the bottom, near the top, but then people get, oh, and then somehow you have the language or the represented people next to the name. Then they start seeing it. It'd be great to have it by that corner where we have the statues of the football players and the little girl. I mean, something like that. But I love the idea that they're reading Green Bay over and over and over in different languages and different cultures. And somewhere we have the ERC down there somewhere, part of it.
With a group photo.
Yeah, group photo, the base.
Or even just have a little thing on the bottom that says, you know, collectively created by the Equal Rights Commission.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like I've tried to look at it from the perspective of how they might see it, and the reality is I would be okay that, because if for some reason they were almost like, oh, you can't have that, but you can have this, I would be 100% okay with it just being the word the Menominee people gave Green Bay. And I say it because you guys have that much history. Like, that was crazy. And I think it's something that makes Green Bay that much more special, right? For example, I'm just gonna be honest, and anybody who watches this and speaks Spanish, when they talk about Green Bay in like Spanish, they call it Valle Verde. But the reality is, Valle Verde is a city in Bolivia, is a city in Mexico. So then, I think when they think of Green Bay, they call it just Green Bay. Like even Los Empacadores de Green Bay. So the fact that it's such a beautiful word in Menominee, that has that, I feel like I would be okay with it just being that word sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the translation in Spanish it doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, and I think that,
Like, it's not meaningful. Yeah.
and I think that I'm very open to that.
Yep.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is I don't want any pushback to say that, why are you pushing forward indigenous words on everybody else? Where it's like, no, like, this is part of a series.
And that's what makes me sad, because I see it more like we're shaking hands.
I know.
We're being
I do too.
inclusive, you know?
I do too.
This is such a beautiful moment to be actually be able to say, we're not fighting about who's here, it's we were,
Yeah.
and we are, so.
I think you could also just start with, the Menominee word.
That's what I was
thinking.
Right, and then go
True.
from there. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be a huge backlash.
No, I don't think so either.
At least from the people that you're concerned about there being a backlash from, right?
Yeah.
To use this word, right?
Yeah.
And then if it catches on,
It's-
then,
yeah.
then we could, try it with other groups.
Yep.
But that's really awesome.
It's true, it gives the opportunity to other groups to say it too. Because I mean, I agree, when you see your own language somewhere in your city building, you feel really special. You feel seen. So I see where that comes from. But if for some reason they're like, no, we can't do all of them, well, I would go full force, like supporting the fact that we can start with this word, you know?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that you wrote this proposal. I think that this is exactly, it aligns with our mission as an ERC. And I think that, having, my previous conversations with the mayor, talking about proclamations and things like that, I think that this would be an idea that he would appreciate. But I think maybe let's work on it a little bit more, flesh it out a little bit. But I think this is a really great start.
And I think we hold on to this and don't let foot off the gas. It's really important. I really do see some kind of like, even just seeing it on a piece of paper here in City Hall, it's like, what a beautiful opportunity to like,
Well, if we're gonna keep the gas on it, I want it happening on at least the first plaque on November 2020.
Gee, that would be so good.
If we can make that happen and everybody's cool with it, that's
Yeah.
what I would say.
So, is there anything that, are you looking for feedback from us? Just
Yeah,
feedback today?
if you
or-
guys wanna give me feedback, if you guys wanna sit on it for a little bit and then we bring it up at the next meeting, I'm fine with that too. But that's kind of where it is like, I kind of put it out there, now it's, like I said, collectively created, so.
What would be the next step? I mean, should somebody have a conversation with the mayor's office about this possibility?
I did already put a request that was needed, I just have to get on his calendar.
And I think you're our liaison on this.
Yeah.
All right then.
Awesome.
Yeah, let us know how we can
Well, we'll
support.
support you.
True, that's
Right.
true.
Alright. I'll go see
Come
him.
back and let us know.
Yeah, so we should have a motion for, put on hold till the next meeting until we get feedback from the mayor.
Yes.
Somebody,
So moved.
I can't make my own motion for my own
It's
thing.
like my
I just
role.
moved it. I just moved
You did
it. What you just said, that's my motion.
Okay.
You'll write it down, okay.
All in,
Good.
do we have a second? Do we have?
Oh,
a
second.
Okay, and then all in favor?
Actually, let me say one thing quick. If you want anybody else to go with you
True.
to that meeting,
Okay.
just let one of us know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once it confirms, I'll put it out to the email, and whoever can make it, come on board.
Yeah, you full support on that.
Cool.
Also, well, maybe think about who you want to go with you. Like,
Yeah.
who's going to add to the conversation.
Yeah.
We all will.
No, but like in a way that
I
is,
know someone.
John, if we were not on minutes right now, I'd say a lot of things. Okay, well, aye. Are we at a vote now on
We
this?
gotta vote.
Yeah, well, He had a comment. Any other comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so then on hold for the next meeting then.
Great.
Thank you for this.
Of course.
Yeah, this is great.
All right, chair updates.
All right, so the first update, I actually wanted to invite Commissioner Guzman to share a little bit more about the event that's coming up in September, because that's going to be happening,
34 weeks, right?
yeah, in a few weeks here, but we're going to have our meeting, and then that's going to happen right after that, right away. So I wanted to give us more time to.
So, the theme of this Hispanic festival, which is what I've been calling it forever, has been established. There's a mission and everything, and it's called Estamos Aquí, which translates to "we are here" in Spanish. When you translate that to English, the whole purpose of it is the following: the Naval Museum created a really nice exposition once upon a time about different people in the community of BIPOC community that started, businesses, and they had it up. There was pictures of people, and so that's where the idea kind of came from. And so that it's almost like these invisible, very important people that brought business, that brought people here, are finally recognized, right? For example, like the first Hispanic restaurant, the first Asian, like they finally were on that exposition at the Naval. So then now that is going to actually be, they're going to do it again at this festival. They're going to put it up at the Widener Center so that people can walk through it again and get history, like we were just saying, about other cultures coming to Green Bay. And this specific though is Latino, because that's going to be the Heritage Month, September. And so it's going to be more Latino, any Latino businesses or anything that made it there are going to be there. Now, there's also going to be Latino artists of all ages and all styles at the Widener having their own exposition. Your own son has been helping us. He helped us with painting of some of the stuff that we're going to need for the artists to put their stuff up. He helped us, so that was pretty cool. And so there's going to be Latino artists. There's going to be a bunch of Latino business-owned food. So Colombian, like you can, you just go try it out. There's going to be Latino bands that are in Wisconsin, here in Green Bay specifically, playing. Many of which a lot of you guys might have heard at the 4th of July when they had the Latino stage. We grabbed a lot of those and we wanted them to play again because it's like local talent, right? And how we come in is for the programming. There's going to be a section probably at 4 p.m. and I'll give you the details so that it's like signed and delivered, but it's going to be around 4 where we want to do like the welcome. It starts at 3 p.m., but the 4 p.m. slot will be like the welcome with Amanda Garcia, who is the executive director of Casa Alba, who this event is a partnership between Casa Alba and the Widener Center, UWGB. So then she's going to be welcoming, and the idea was to have the mayor and the Equal Rights Commission there, kind of just either giving brief details or just recognizing, we know y'all are here, you know what I mean? And so that was the idea of having the Equal Rights Commission there in that slot, the welcoming, the we see you, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Cool.
The 16th of September, it's a Saturday.
Okay, great, thank you.
Amen.
Sweet, good to know.
So what I'd like to know, Stephanie, is are you speaking on behalf of the ERC, or do you still want a different representative?
So, I'm gonna be an MC that night, so I was hoping maybe somebody else, but at the same time, if this committee thinks it's better that I can do it too. But I feel like it could be anybody, to be honest. I would love,
Why don't we have a couple of people?
yeah,
I mean, I think if this initiative thing passes, we could all go conceivably, but if not, 4 of us could go.
For
It's not a
sure.
quorum.
Yep.
And I think it would be good to see people of, different
Yep.
backgrounds in the
Yes.
Equal Rights Commission all.
yes. That's
Right.
what I was kind of envisioning.
And we don't have to talk long,
Mm.
right? One of us could explain what the Equal Rights Commission is. One
Yep.
person could talk quickly about housing. One person could say, here's how you get in touch
Literally.
with us, right? Like, everybody could talk for like a minute, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think it would be good for them to see a lot of different people
Yep.
up there.
And then that's actually like the main highlight, because like Estamos Aquí is exposing, like just showing and sharing culture with Green Bay that exists here, and so it's gonna be really nice to hear that somebody like sees it, you know, like, and this is what we have too to offer if you need anything. It's kind of cool, you know what I mean? So, I mean, they're gonna be sick of me. So I was hoping maybe some of you guys could talk. Cause I'm gonna be playing there, and then I'm gonna MC. So
One of us can just point out that you're on the.
yeah,
air stand-up.
that would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be I could even stand there too, you know,
Yeah.
like yeah.
You can have your picture.
So the welcome is gonna be at 4 p.m. That's
But-
like the official welcome. The start of the thing is at 3 p.m.
Okay. 3 till what?
10.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys doing inside the theater, or is there like a stage area?
Oh,
or
so
like-
there's gonna be 2 stages.
Widener Center.
It's gonna be right outside the Widener Center.
It's on the outside?
So the music's outside and the exposition for art inside,
Okay, and then where we're speaking, where's that?
outside of the main stage.
Okay, main stage,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
I like it.
I don't know. I'm excited.
So it seems like we're probably going to have quorum there. So would we need to announce that at our next meeting then?
No, the notice of quorum, well, I believe it's either going to be, it has to be at least like 48 hours before the meeting, or it'll be that Friday before. There'll just be a notice of quorum that there may be a quorum of the Equal Rights Commission at this event. That's what we would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all the social media has everything already. So as soon as we can, like, for sure, either, I don't know if we need approval or not, then we could even announce it on marketing terms. Like, they will start saying like, oh, we're also gonna have the mayor, we're gonna have the equal rights. So people know what's coming, you know?
That's great.
Yeah.
So why do we need the quorum? I'm confused about that.
Yeah, so I was just talking through my head, and I'm gonna use the word ensure, so sorry about that. Just to let the public know that, like, to ensure that the ERC isn't meeting, or any commission or any public body isn't meeting
Okay.
to handle business or city business at that time. So when you know you're gonna be at a place together, that's a quorum, so then you have to let the public know, just in case any regular business came in. So-
Okay.
That is the appropriate use of ensure, though. That's
Yeah.
actually what you're doing, right?
To ensure the public.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the update on that.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Awesome.
thanks. I'll get in touch with you and then we'll organize.
I'm excited. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, and then we'll let Joe know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Details.
Okay, I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Put it on my calendar, so.
Nice.
The
I mean,
second.
I'm gonna actually even call, we were thinking about even asking Christina, so I gotta call her too. You know, so it would be nice so people could see all of the representatives. Because a lot of Latino people are in that neighborhood, so it would be nice to see the rep there. Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be
Yep.
great. All great ideas. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
And thanks for putting in hard work for that.
Oh yeah, that's actually another project I didn't mention I was on. That's something else I was doing this summer. I did, anyway, good. Yeah.
And then the other thing that I had on my plate was just to contact the farmer's market to see if we can get a stand there. And so, yes, we can get a free table there, stand. It's gonna be by the welcoming
Nice.
tent. It would be if that's what we want, but I just need to know who would be interested in attending, when you're available, and then I will get you into contact with the right person.
I'm down.
I mean, I'm in, but I want somebody else to be there with me,
Yeah,
right? I think it'd be fun to have a couple of people.
it would be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Which farmer's market?
So it depends on the availability of
Oh, either one.
the commissioners. Oh, yeah, whatever Wednesday or Saturday works.
Okay.
And then I didn't contact military, but I know military does have farmers market, but I think the more busy, or the ones that bring more foot traffic would be the downtown.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Any, let me know.
Okay, so we can have 2 representatives, because then if we have all of us there, then we're gonna have to figure that out. 2 or 3
It's a lot of people
together.
sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Two's good.
Doing business, yeah.
Okay, so I will email you and the details, and then connect you with the right person.
Are we allowed to have a drink over there? I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. You're promoting local businesses.
This is Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's being bad.
Anyway.
I'm just not gonna say anything.
And then that's all that I had for my chair update, unless anyone has questions about any previous minutes or things that I brought up in the past.
I will motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Guys, grab some muffins.